Hello and welcome back to New Year, New Game. This is game 76, Rogue Lords. Rogue Lords is a wonderful little turn-based combat game that has you following a story where you are the devil. And you're using the devil's disciples to get revenge on those who pushed him back to hell. It's a pretty good storyline. I like it. Really lets you live out that goth satanic fantasy that you've always dreamed of being the devil and commanding people like Dracula, the Headless Horseman, and Bloody Mary to get revenge on people like Van Helsing. I thought it was a cool idea, just because I kind of like those horror stories and things like that. A little early October horror-styled kind of game. It's not really a super spooky game at all. It's actually a pretty fun story. Combat is, well, versatile. Each of the disciples have their own unique combat style that you really need to kind of master and get used to. I unfortunately did not do that. I understood a little bit of it, but I felt like I needed a little more time to understand how these combatants worked. We did get the most of it though, and we did manage to make it through the entire tutorial within that hour. So that's always a good plus. Could we have continued more? No, because it's only an hour. We don't go past that. Come on. I'm trying to run a professional show here. Don't know why you would expect me to go further than an hour. And you're probably saying, oh, but you've done it before. Yeah, I have. Moving on. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoy watching Rogue Lords here on New Year, New Game. Empty save slot.
Many moons ago, mortals rose up against me and chased me down. They were led by demon hunters, wretched beings incapable of seeing the beauty of a corrupted world. My creatures and demons gave everything they had in the fight. But it was not enough. I was forced to leave the world of the living. Weakened, I returned to hell to survive. For years I consumed fresh souls to regain my power, but their numbers are fast diminishing. I cannot wait anymore. I must reclaim my rightful place. It is time to gather my forces once more. Those who signed a pact with me will do as I order. They will spread terror and corruption in my name. The time has come for my revenge.
Awesome. We're really looking forward to it. Quite an event. Welcome to your fortress. From here you can launch adventures from the map of the new world. Read about your servants in the chart of disciples. Follow your progress on the altar of conquest. Well then, let's go. Select the map to begin mission. The map depicts the new world. The demon hunter put an end to your reign in this region 10 years ago. It's here that you'll choose missions for your disciples in their quests to avenge you. The further you progress in the game, the stronger your adversaries become, and the overall difficulty of the game increases. For the moment, your adversaries are weak, so take advantage of it and hit hard. Launch your first mission.
Many years ago, I was banished from the terrestrial plane by Van Helsing and his demon hunters.
Van Helsing.
Since then, I have reigned over hell while awaiting the hour of my return. But things are changing. The souls of the deceased no longer descend into hell. Have humans become more virtuous? Or is there a new force conspiring to usurp my power? I recall into service my disciples, powerful beings who once made a pact with me. They can move freely in this region called the New World, where I was undone by Van Helsing. They will find him and exact my revenge upon him.
Alright. Gotta have a third disciple. And we're gonna choose Bloody Mary. So we have Dracula, Bloody Mary, and the Headless Horseman. Enemies have plus 0% HP and SP, plus 0% uprising in between zones, 0% chance of being caught in an ambush. The default mode for Rogue Lords, a devilish demanding journey that will challenge your devil's powers and your ability to spread terror. Apprentice mode will be available once the tutorial is over. So let's keep going with the tutorial. You control a group of disciples and choose one to represent the group. You navigate from zone to zone by choosing your route on the map. You have to complete the main activity in a zone before you can move on to the next. So this is Crowfield. Move close to the main activity to launch it. Launch. So we have the Headless Horseman.
Through the renewed link with my disciples, I become aware of the situation in the new world. The demon hunters have increased their hold on the population. They are everywhere, on the roads, in the villages, patrolling and imposing a summary justice. On the other hand, no one has heard of the 6 artifacts stolen from me by Van Helsing during our last confrontation. If he is using them, he does not boast of it. My attention is drawn towards a new religion. The Sanctua Lumen, as it is called, is increasing its hold on humans. My disciples decide to go to one of its sanctuaries in order to learn more.
Continue. I like the narrator. Got a good voice. Click on the map to consult it. The book map shows the zones and paths for 2 chapters. It also shows the special effects that might affect certain zones during gameplay. The first zone in each book is always a combat. Choose the map to minimize it. Close the map. Hover your mouse over a few zones to see more details. Book chapter. Order your disciples to come here as quickly as possible in order to move on to the next chapter of this book. By getting there, you gain 1 terror. A book contains 6 chapters and ends with a boss fight. Get the Grim Reaper, sell your souls to the Grim Reaper in exchange for skills and relics. Nice. Leave a skill with him, and he'll increase its power before returning it to you at the next meeting. Event. Choose a disciple and the main actors in an event to improve their characteristics and to find various rewards. Styx Fountain. Visit the Styx Fountain to regenerate your diabolical essence or purge your disciples' negative traits. Combat. Choose your combat tactics and eliminate your enemies to earn skills, reap souls, and impart terror. And then the first chapter. Go to the sanctuary of the Sanctora Lumen to investigate. Combat. Choose your combat tactics and eliminate your enemies to earn skills. I just want to go into combat. Diabolic Essence is your main resource. If you run out, you lose. Essence can be lost during combat or used to boost your influence over the world of mortals. Souls can be won during combat or events. They can be traded to the Grim Reaper to obtain skills, increase the rarity of skills you already have, or obtain relics. As you accumulate events and combats, the terror you inspire grows. Each increase produces a terror effect on the zones on a subsequent night and gives you advantages. For every 4 increase, you gain a level of terror, permanently improving your chance to obtain higher rarity skills, and you receive a relic. Fun times. Just in time to launch my first combat at the Mansion in Ruins. See. Complete the activity unlocks access to the following zones. Choose your approach. It will determine which reward you receive at the end. You got a frontal attack, which terror effect in 3 knights. Set up an ambush, which gives us a skill, and attack discreetly, which gives us souls. We want to do this one, the skill approach.
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems your time has come.
At the beginning of each turn, your enemies announce the actions they are going to launch. You have 5 action points to share among your disciples in order to thwart that attack. Once you've finished, your enemies play their announced actions, then a new turn begins with your enemy's announcement of their intentions. Turn 1. Select Bloody Mary. Choose a skill for her to launch. Select Stabbing. You got 2 stabbings. Health points and spiritual points. All combatants have 2 gauges of health, 1 physical and 1 spiritual. Inflicting physical damage reduces the number of health points, while inflicting spiritual damage reduces the number of spiritual points. To defeat an enemy, you must reduce their health points or spiritual points to 0, and then inflict the same type of damage one last time to finish them off. Select Dracula. Choose a skill. We're gonna go with a Bleeding Heart. Recharging skills. When you use a skill, you deplete its charge, and it can't be used again until it has been recharged. Each disciple possesses a recharge action that replenishes all their skills. Recharge actions vary from one disciple to another. For example, some have bonus effects that change their cost. Let's see. Using your recharge action. Recharge all disciple skills. Select Dracula. You have no more points. When you have no more actions to play, end your turn. Select Dracula, choose a skill. Bleeding Heart once again. When an enemy is reduced to 0 health points or 0 spiritual points, they do not die. You have to administer a death strike by inflicting damage on the same gauge. The disciples are also subject to vulnerability status, but they do not die when they receive a death blow. Instead, you consume diabolical essence to keep them alive so they can complete their mission. Alright, select Bleeding Heart once more.
Couldn't have ended any other way.
Wonderful turn-based tactics.
Evil will not spread by itself.
Each type of activity has its own set of specifications. At the end of each combat, you'll receive a reward depending on your choice at the time of approach. You will regularly have a choice of 3 elements during reward phase. Choose one. Let's see. We want to make our selection so I get to pick. We have Twist of Fate. Alteration, reduce the impending attacks by 2. Fury Fang. Still 2 times 2 to 3 HP. Burst of Anger. Targets all enemies. Inflict 2 times 5 plus 8 HP. Kinda thinking. Might do this. Burst of Anger is a good one, though. Burst of Anger. Place it here. Alright. Move to the next zone. The Styx Fountain. Thought it was going to appear there. Just gotta walk around and look for it. Extra activity. Some zones have an extra activity. It is optional and can be carried out before or after the main activity. Oh, like that there. Launch this activity. Combat. Choose more skills.
I'm terribly sorry.
A priestess, a martyr, and an inquisitor. There are several ways to reduce inflicted damage. One with skills that immediately diminish immediate damage, 2 with status that protect your disciples or negatively affected your enemies. Select Mary.
What game are we playing?
Mary is a bloodthirsty, which translates to physical skills that can only target the weakest adversary. Mary also possesses a mirror that she places in front of the enemy of her choice. When she recharges once her mirror is in place, all the skills she plays are reproduced on the mirror's target. I see. Select the mirror. Select it. This person as a target.
Who shall die tonight?
And then select Twist of Fate. Select this enemy. The enemy as a target. Select Stabbing. Gets it done twice, and then we end our turn. Dracula. Getting very well damaged. The Headless Horseman is a battle-hardened soldier who can take blows and dish them out. He gets reduction in damage and provocation status that allow him to redirect attacks to himself. When he suffers damage, his bitterness increases. At its maximum, his bitterness enables him to launch extremely potent skills. Select the Headless Horseman. Select On Guard. Select the Headless Horseman as the target. Certain effects allow you to apply a status to the characters. These can have a number of charges or a duration in turns. If they have charges, they lose 1 charge each time they are triggered if they have a duration. They can be launched several times for as long as they are active. There are 6 status types: Enchantment, Protection, Cure, Maneuver, Control, and Weakness. A character can hold only 1 status of each type. If another status of the same type is applied, it replaces the first. If it is the same, its duration or number of a charge increases. Select Slash. Select the enemy as target. Bleeding will kill the enemy. End your turn. But my mirror. No, Dracula is vulnerable. Dracula is the leader of men and was once a bloodthirsty warrior. He has earned his longevity by being extremely cautious in potentially deadly situations. This experience has given him a number of skills that benefit his whole team. But when he becomes vulnerable, the warrior reawakens and some of his skills become devastating. Select Dracula.
I'm listening, Master.
Select Bloodthirst. Select Dracula. Go into devil mode.
It's high time I interfered.
The devil isn't held back by the same rules as mortals. He can cheat the interface. This allows him to modify the health points and spiritual point gauge, recharge skills, move statuses around. The only limit to his powers is their cost in diabolical essence. One of your devil powers allows you to move statuses between combatants. To do so, grab one of the combatant statuses under its HP and SP gauges and drag it under the gauges of the combatant you want to give it to. So move the martyr status to Dracula. This one here. And then slide the health point bar to 0. Confirm the change.
Limit to my power is my imagination.
Select Bleeding Heart. And this one as a target. End this turn.
What's keeping you from ridding us of this vermin, disciples?
When a disciple is vulnerable and about to suffer damage, the devil protects it at the cost of as many diabolical essence as inflicted damage. If a disciple is not vulnerable and about to suffer more damage than its current HP or SP, the damage surplus is cancelled. However, an attack hitting several times counts as many damages applications and can consume essence. Finish the fight by your own means. 2 times 5. Each time the Headless Horseman suffers damage, increase the charge by 1. How much bitterness are we at? Does bitterness 2 each time it suffers damage? Does have a lot of damage. I bet we hit with a burst of anger. And we steal some HP.
Cower before my omnipotence.
Wonderful.
I am pleased with these offerings. Take them.
Skills have 3 levels of rarity: ordinary, wicked, and demonic. When you obtain a skill for the 3rd time, the 3 fuse together to form a skill with the next level of rarity. Afterwards, you'll discover a skill with higher rarity for the same disciple. Choose a skill. Slash, bleeding heart, stabbing. Does this do anything? No. They all kind of do their same effects. Nothing added except increase in damage. Let's do slash. Place a skill in an empty skill slot.
Take everything you can.
Tactical analysis, spectral thropper, and thrust. Movement enhancement, add 1 charge to the horseman's status. Inflict 2 to 18 SP applied to zombies. Transforms received healing into damage. Nice. More bitterness. Let's do that. Alright. Take it we have to go here now. Launch. Click to move to the next step. You can smell the noxious waters of the Styx even before you see the source. Observe the scene to gather more information. The waters of the Styx bubble up in the form of fountains in certain spots spread around the world. You can use its waters to regenerate your diabolical essence or purge your disciples' negative traits. Click on the interaction element to interact. You can only withdraw energy from the source 1 time. Your disciples assemble around the altar awaiting your orders.
There's nothing like the vile waters of the Styx to invigorate me.
Plus 20 essence. Bringing us to 50. Now we move to the next zone. To the event.
Many humans lie dead among the roots of these trees. I quite like this place.
Main activity completed. The activities unlocks access to the following zone. Choose Adarant, the Headless Horseman. Your disciple stumbles upon a young man shooting at a straw target with a crossbow. He's startled when he notices them and points his weapon in their direction. Apprentice Demon Hunter. You are... I recognize you. My master told me about you. You're the devil's emissaries. I'm going to annihilate you and become a legend in my own time. I'll be the greatest demon hunter ever. Despite his boasting, the kid can barely hide the fact that he's shaking in his boots. You could almost feel sorry for him, but his naivety annoys you. There must be a way to use him to your advantage. Observe the scene to gather more information. The kid already fancies himself the new Van Helsing, even though he'd never looked evil in the face until a few minutes ago. The time has come to let him taste the secret horrors only you know. Click the interactive element, which is the person, I'm sure. Yes. Headless Horseman looks the kid up and down suspiciously. Choose your storyline. As events unfold, you will have to make choices that influence how the story progresses and the rewards you'll receive. Certain actions are social tests, and passing them depends on your disciple's characteristics. The actions that require a test have greater potential, but unless you cheat, you take the risk of failing them. Go into devil mode to cheat.
I don't like this situation.
Slide the success gauge up to 100%.
Reality is but a toy to me.
And approve.
My power is absolute.
So we're spending like the kid, now we gotta choose terrorizing the apprentice. Choose this action from which you increase the probabilities.
You give the orders, I carry them out.
Headless Horseman infiltrates the apprentice's mind, and to make it worse, nightmares come true. Shadow creatures begin crawling on the ground around him and over his skin. Anything goes when it comes to accomplishing my mission, even magic. More, I want to see more. It's a soldier's duty to master all the weapons in his arsenal.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
Headless Horseman receives the following trait. Chilling Gaze. Chilling Gaze, huh? +3 scare, +1 spiritual damage, +4 max health points. Be more of a chilling presence.
Really? It's for me?
Bloody Mary receives the following trait. Apprentice. +1 occultism, +6 max health points.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
And Headless Horseman receives another trait. Inspired, +2 ruse, +2 occultism, +3 max health points. Dracula gets nothing. Disciples' reactions. Disciples sometimes react after some social test depending on their temper. Each disciple has more or less chances to react positively. A reaction can either only involve the disciple who just passed the test, or be a conversation with another member of the team. Reactions generate a trait for at least one of the participants, either positive or negative, depending on the reaction's nature. Livid with terror, the apprentice hunter tries to kill them, but they are only illusions, and he can't even touch them. Finally, he falls to his knees before your disciple. Have pity. Make them stop. I'll do whatever you want. Headless Horseman. He is at Headless Horseman's mercy. What should he do with them? Force him to betray the other demon hunters. Headless Horseman explains to him the only way to make the creatures disappear is by killing the other demon hunters he knows. Without a second hesitation, the apprentice takes off running for the closest demon hunter refuge. It won't be long before the souls of those accursed upstarts are among your subjects.
Souls rotten with vice.
I received
Oh, they should
300
be
souls.
Very useful.
Very nice.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
And we got another one. Adrot, +2 ruse, +1 physical damage, +5 actual spiritual points. Traits are permanent and affect the social and combat characteristics of the disciple who obtains them. Your disciple can also receive negative traits when they fail social tests or show negative reactions during events. Negative traits can be purged in the Fountain of the Styx. Open the spell book. The main page of the spell book shows you the current status of each of your disciples, including skills, combat, and social characteristic traits and relics. Turn to the second page of the spell book. On the second page, the spell book shows you the relics relics you possess that are not linked to a specific disciple and details your demonic powers. Okay. That it? Cool. And we gotta go our way to the next zone. Grim Reaper. Launch an activity. In a secret meeting place hidden from mortals, your disciples meet with the Grim Reaper. It's time to do some business.
Ah, a conductor of souls. All those innocent souls I harvested will finally be of use.
The Grim Reaper offers you skills and relics in exchange for souls. He can also increase the rarity of a skill you already possess, but to do so, he needs to keep the skill until the next time you meet him. Buy a skill, because we should buy this one. Confirm.
Simple mortal trinkets. You'd better find a use for them.
Mere Blade, Deadly Gash, Lunatic Strength. Deplete the skill with the lowest AP cost. 3 bleeding, that's nice. Let's do that one. Let's see. Growing power is palpable. What else can I offer you in exchange? Let's see. We can buy a relic. What is it? Automatically recharge the skills usage. Dracula receives the following relic. Even more than skills, relics are powerful assets that help you progress through, although they can be obtained from the Grim Reaper, and during certain events, the surest way to get them is by defeating elite adversaries. We got the Zephyra. The holder begins combat with 2 haste. One way to upgrade the rarity of a skill is to leave it with the Grim Reaper. The skill you leave will not be in your disciple's inventory anymore. You can find a reminder of that skill next to the minimap. The Grim Reaper will return the upgrade skill to you at the beginning of your next visit. Upgrade a skill. You can choose another disciple. I'm gonna choose you. And choose the skill. Burst of Anger. Do you want to keep Burst of Anger for a time to increase its rarity? Yes, I do. I'll keep Burst of Anger in order to augment its rarity and return it to you at our next meeting. What else would you like to exchange? Find this encounter, or in this encounter. Don't know why I saw find. Alright, we move on. Yep. Sanctuary. Completing this activity unlocks access to the following zone. Because this is chapter 2.
My disciples enter the Sanctualumen Sanctuary and determine that it has well and truly replaced the old religions. Priest and warrior monks trained to fight the creatures of the night. Vampires and werewolves rot in silver cages. My disciples swoop upon this new enemy, and soon lifeless bodies litter the sanctuary's floor. A handful of survivors are charged with spreading the word of my return. We then leave for the last known bastion of Van Helsing.
Come for you, Van Helsing. find Van Helsing in his last known dwelling place. But it looks like we have come to a fork in the road. We can go combat, but we want to see the Grim Reaper and get that skill back. Kinda wanna do a event. Your disciple observes numerous footprints in the mud. As they approach, they can sense that the forces have moved. Humanity is rising against you. The following effects will affect the zone situation in 2 nights. Upon arrival in the zone, the relics in your store are deactivated until you leave the zone. That is a shame. Open the map. Use devil mode to cheat and avoid this threat.
Something done right. Do it yourself.
Choose a zone in which you want to create an access portal. Do I choose this one?
The devil
Choose this one.
is in the details.
Approve. Close the map. Portal won't become active until you have something. So I guess I have to do this first. Let's go ahead. It doesn't really say much of it. Mansion in Ruins. We're going to use Dracula for this one, since Bloody Mary and the Headless Horseman got the last one. The Sanctua Lumen's men are inside the walls of Mansion in Ruins, preparing to submit the villagers to the question. They are convinced that several witches live in the area, and they're right. These fanatics of the light seem willing to do whatever it takes to eliminate the witches. With a little push from you, they might burn Mansions in Ruins and all its inhabitants. But there might be a more suitable way to use them that would also allow you to save the witches. Investigate more. The entire population of Mansion in Ruins is waiting in the central square, closely watched by inquisitors. It's easy to mix in with the crowd, but almost impossible to escape it. The Sanctia Lumen has done a good job. The witches are trapped, and it's just a question of time before they're discovered. Looks like the interacting one is just this guy here. Your disciples mix in among the crowd. It's both the best hiding place and the best position from which to influence the goings-on. Dracula is ready to act. Accuse a group of innocent bystanders, help the witches escape, study how the inquisitors work.
It's high time I interfered.
I brought this to 100.
My power is absolute.
Perfect.
Dracula notices a group of innocent villagers who look nervous. Slipping in among them, he intones a somber incantation that immediately attracts the Sanctum Lumen's attention. The people around them soon become a hateful mob, cursing and spurning those they used to call neighbors. Deep down, all of these people are relieved to escape from the Inquisitor's suspicion. Their egotistical satisfaction at the upcoming execution of innocent people only strengthens your hold on their souls. They don't know it yet, but they already belong to you.
Soon the humans will all bow down before me.
Terror. Terror effects appear in all the zones in a line and deepen on that type of zone they affect. Each terror effect increases your territory gauge by 1 point. For every 4 points gained, you gain a level of terror, increase your chance of obtaining wicked skills, and receive a relic. Following effects will affect the zones situated in 1 night. On arrival in the zones, the devil receives 10 essence and max essence. Each skill has minus 10% to 70% discount. Like the Grim Reaper store.
Finally, fresh souls to torment.
Knowledge is power.
Psychic. Plus 3 spiritual damage, plus 4 maximum spiritual points. And now that that's done, we can do this. There we are. The inhabitant's terror invigorates you.
Now
Current
the
zone
mortals can do nothing to stop me.
gives me more Diabolic Essence. Forgotten Idol. An extra activity. Very nice. Any secret meeting place hidden from mortals, your disciples meet with the Grim Reaper. It's time to do some business. Numerous eyes observe you from unearth the Grim Reaper's hood. You have no idea what he does with all the souls he collects, but as long as he respects the deals he makes with you, it's not your concern. Grim Reaper. As agreed, I infuse the souls you give me into the skill Burst of Anger. Its strength has been greatly multiplied. The harvest was good. The skill Burst of Anger now possesses rarity level Wicked, as stipulated in our pact.
I am pleased with these offerings.
Wonderful. And we'll put it
The
there.
conductor of souls finally deigns to show himself. Don't make him wait.
Let's get this. Woo! That. Confirm.
Choose quickly. Evil will not spread by
I
itself.
lose all HP plus 2 physical damage. Fury. Inflict 2 times 9. Apply 3. Decomposition. I think I'm probably going to do Unleash the Beast. Apply 3 Sharpening. Recharge 2 random skills. Let's do that. Alright. Should we pick up a relic while we're here too? Hell's Diamond. Reach negative trait, you purge, discover 2 skills after each combat. Recuperate 4 diabolical essence. The fountain of the sticks no longer heal the devil. When acquired, all your disciples earn plus 20 max HP and SP. Your current and max diabolical essence becomes 30. I don't like any of these. Purge negative trait, purge, discover 2 skills. Maybe. We don't really have any negative skills, though. Could try and get something else. Do that. He's completely full. Never mind. But over here. Deduct 1 charge from the target's status. Plus 3 spiritual damage, plus 1 AP. These guys don't really do spiritual damage, though. Deduct 1 charge from the target's status. Apply 2 depression. At the beginning of end of each turn, suffer 4/6 SP. And they don't really do a whole lot with SP. But... Alright, now, where is... Here it is. Do this event. I think we should continue to send Dracula, but I'm instead going to send in Bloody Mary. Social test is ruse and occultism. Who has the most? 4 and 4. 6 and 10. She doesn't have any of this. It's a lot less. Maybe we'll send in this one instead.
What are my orders?
As they enter the Whispering Cemetery, Whispering Cemetery, Your disciples notice something strange. A huge pile of corpses. As they come closer to examine the mystery, the gravedigger calls out to them. If you're coming to drop off a body, walk right back out and put it in the common grave. With this damned white plague ravaging countryside, I don't have any space for new residents. And the worst part is that all these plague-infected bodies don't rot. There has to be some dark magic at work in there somewhere. I'm sure of it. I'd give anything to get rid of all these bodies. Can we bring the bodies back to life? The gravedigger isn't joking when he says the cemetery is full. There are more tombstones than there are trees in the forest, and the graves are so full that each one forms a small burial mound. The pile of corpses includes men and women, young and old. Seems the epidemic spares no one. They are all as pale as ghosts, as if they had been drained of all their blood. That's why it's called the White Plague. Is there another interaction? Doesn't look like it. Gravedigger. Headless Horseman. The Gravedigger looks nervously at your disciple. Make a pact with the Gravedigger. Examine a corpse more closely. Harvest the souls of the dead. How about we make a pact? The Gravedigger's anxiety is palpable. You offer to help him solve his problem in exchange for his soul. I'll sign all the pacts you want if it will help me get rid of all these corpses. It's as if his souls were already yours. Her soul was already yours. The only thing left to do is fulfill your end of the bargain and empty the cemetery of its residents. Summon the grave robbers. Let's do that one.
You give the orders, I carry them out.
On the cemetery wall, Headless Horseman carves a small, discreet symbol well known to the underworld. It indicates that the corpses inside are rich and easy to steal. Within a night or two, the grave robbers will have emptied the cemetery of its occupants. Not only will the gravedigger's problems be solved, but this contraband will also keep your enemy's attention directed away from you for a while. Relieved that he doesn't have to deal with all those bodies, the gravedigger signs your pact. Thanks to this new servant, the souls of the dead who are buried in the cemetery will be added to your might.
Finally.
Only 29?
Souls to torment.
Not a whole lot.
The people fear me once again. That is how it should be.
Let's see. Following effects will affect zones situated in 2 nights. Upon arrival, they'll receive 10 essence and max essence. I did as you ordered, Master. What's the next mission?
It's not my head, but it'll do.
Apprentice, +1 occultism, +6 max health points. To raise the bodies back would have been great. Omnipotent, +2 stealth, +2 scare, +2 occultism, +2 temptation, +2 ruse. Alright. Now we move on. If I can get around these trees. There we go. To a combat. Sludgeton. Main activity, complete this activity unlocks access to the following zone. Terror effect in 1 night, 2 skills, or 30 souls. 2 enemy waves for this one. Do we want more souls? Souls doesn't seem to help. Inflicting terror, though. Not gonna end at the end, though. We have terror already coming on that side. Now let's do 2 skills.
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems your time has come.
2 exorcists. Oh, it recharges her skills. That's what it is. Oh my god. Dracula. What happened to the release the beast? Oh, right here. Unleash the beast. Unavailable. Skill must be the first. Oh, launched in a turn. Darn. Did not read that part.
Who should I kill?
But we inflict some SP damage.
I always aim for the head.
What game are we playing?
No, can't do that apparently. Those all cost 2, so she can't do that. Dracula does have bleeding heart. So let's do that. Why can you not attack? I want you to attack. Alright, apparently we can't attack. End this turn. Cannot inflict a status control. Dracula.
I'm parched.
Back to full.
What game are we playing?
Here's roll 2. Here's also a 2. Mastery. The skill costs 5 bitterness. He's not bitter enough. Well, we still can do this. And now we end this turn. Vulnerable to silence.
What game are we playing?
Skill can only target the adversary with the least HP. Let's do that. Lost 5 bitterness. Too bad. That costs 3. Can only inflict health, can't inflict SP damage. should have done his.
It's not over yet, mortal. The most severe of punishments await you.
Could have gone into devil mode.
I don't like this situation. Let's change it. The dice were loaded from the start. Who should I kill?
The only thing is, I don't think that he or any of the other people have any SP attacks. They don't. Well, silence prevents. Won't prevent this one though. Oh, cost 2. Anyone have anything that costs 1?
What game are we playing?
So much SP stuff. Should have just focused on the health.
I'm parched. Your end near.
Who should I kill?
Yeah, it does get it, buddies. Thought it was the bleeding that would have gotten her.
Now you see what happens to those who resist me.
And that was just the first
Move
wave.
quickly. Evil will not spread by
Eeny,
itself.
meeny, miny, mo. Mirror blade. Secret boot. Inflict 6 to 10 HP or 6 to 10 SP, depending on where the adversary is weakest. It's collusion. Use this skill. Use of the skill ends the turn, so it's the last one. Let's get rid of one of these. Thought there were 2 waves. Maybe it was only 2 people.
I hate fields. I'd love to see them burn.
Nice. To the Styx Fountain. Investigation. The water of the Styx bubbles up in the form of fountains at certain spots spread around the world. You can use its waters to regenerate your diabolical essence or purge your disciples' negative traits. So it's the same as the last one. You can only withdraw energy from the source one time. Your disciples assemble around the altar awaiting your
There's
orders.
nothing like the vile waters of the Styx.
Not sure if I'm doing it correctly, or at least getting the maximum amount. And then the final combat, the boss battle. Threatening Mansion. You reach the boss of the book. All you have to do is defeat it. Just like Red Threads, there will never be secondary activities in these zones. A book will always end with a final combat, and each book has its own boss. Well, let's go fight him.
I guide my disciples to Van Helsing's lair. He is there, surrounded by his men. He is waiting for us. The news of my return does not seem to have shaken him. And so battle is engaged. Van Helsing. Finally, we meet again. Prepare to suffer an eternity of torment, mortal. If you want something done right, do it yourself.
Man, look how much essence it would cost. He's at 9999. I don't think we're supposed to win this. Now we go after his disciples.
Who should I kill? Hunger!
Didn't do his first move, which we should have.
Don't hold anything back.
Wow.
It's high time I interfered. I am irresistible.
Since he's already down to low HP, giving him a bloodlust would not be so bad. Dracula is vulnerable. Oh, he has to be vulnerable. The effects of this heal are repeated a second time. Should have done that. Could always try it next turn.
Who should I kill?
You don't have a one cost one. Just Dracula, huh?
Master. Oh?
And
Disciples, do you want to feel my wrath?
we lose, as I think we're
My
supposed to.
disciples are defeated. Van Helsing brushed them aside with the swipe of a hand. What a humiliation. The growing influence of the Sanctuary Lumen has sapped my strength. I order my disciples to retreat towards a location from where we shall launch a different kind of attack.
Hmm. And that's it. That's an hour. It ends in defeat.
A boon to my conquest.
Ooh, Midnight Keys. Unlocked. The unlocked skills and relics will appear in the following books. Map. Spellbook. Disciples. So if we go over here to Dracula. Do you have the Zephyr still here? Wonder if we hold on to those. Back to the Devil's Lair. You finish the tutorial. You can now access all the tutorials once you are in a book. Via the pause menu. Begin your requests of the world of the living, or reconquests of the world of the living, right now at the map of the new world. And that's it. That is 1 hour of the game here. That has been 1 hour of Rogue Lords. Not a bad game. It's got that very creepy, scary feel to it, which I like. I do enjoy that. Combat, I think I needed a little more practice to get a hold of it in order to really do everyone's optimal amount of damage and usefulness. Because every single one of them is unique in their own way and have their own unique skills and sets that they do things at. And unfortunately, I just was not using them to their full advantage. So, I do give this game a thumbs up. I think it's well put together. I think it has a very good story to it as well. I think it was well told through the narrator's voice and kind of the guiding way of everything. And it has a sort of uniqueness to it that I can't really compare this game to another game at all. Would I play this game again? Absolutely. And if you yourself would like to play this game, you can play it on Steam, which is how I am playing this game here. If available through Humble Bundle for purchase, I will include a link in the description below. By clicking that link and purchasing at Humble Bundle, I get a little bit to my Humble Bundle wallet, which I use to purchase more games. Because more games is more good. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next game. Goodbye.